Devlog 8, March 6th, 2026. I finally caved in under the pressure of all of my friends, or a good number of my friends, and also the trends that are happening with AI, and I got myself Claude Code. Um, this is awesome. I actually really like using Claude Code. The way that I'm using it in my project is I am asking it for reviews, edit suggestions, and just a general game dev personality that I can chat with to counsel me through game development. Um, it's nice. I don't like having it do a lot of editing. I did have it change my spaces to tab indents because that's more in line with what Godot expects for its scripts, and it did the job really well. No mistakes there, so can't complain too much. So I like using it for menial tasks like that. But yeah, it helped a lot for just having someone I could talk to about my game and get some advice on good practices. As far as where the game is at currently, I have broken out the battle handler into a bunch of different subfields. Before it was just the battle handler on the same tree level as unit spawner and battle state machine, but I decided that the battle handler should just handle everything. It should be like the main node for the simulation. So then the unit spawner is the one that spawns all of the units underneath it as children. Battle state machine, of course, goes through each of the different states. And battlefield handler basically handles the physical position of the units. So to give you an idea of what my game is going to be, you're going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different open available slots here, and 6 over here. So these are for the players, these are for the enemies. This is kind of like Inscription, except in Inscription, you only have 4 slots for animals, or 5, and then 5 slots for animals for Leshy, and then some slots for animals that are coming in. In my game, though, all of these animals are in the battle. There's backline units and frontline units, and the frontline units duel it out, protecting the backline units. If there's not a frontline unit to protect a backline unit, frontline units and backline units can attack basically across. And so making that functionality was a bit of a trick, but I think I got it. I'll have to actually test it, but so far the code is working, so that's really nice. So if I'll show you, right now in our simulation, the player is, if you can imagine this, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The player is in spot 1, and then on the enemy side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The snake is in spot 4. So the enemy and the player, the snake and the player should be both in the front lines and should be able to attack each other. And that is indeed what happens here. Also, I've got ability resolution going, so that's nice. Boom, player 1. Now, if I go into the code, right, and hold on, let me clear this real quickly. Where am I going? Game state. Game state, game state, game state. Boom, game state. So this is the player's position. If I change it to 7, which means the mid front line of the player's side. So remember, actually, I have a visualization of this. Hold on one second. Battlefield handler. So this is an example of what the field can look like, where we have 3 columns, 4 rows. 2 rows are the enemy lines, and then 2 rows are the player lines. In that previous example, the snake was over in this spot, and the player was over in this spot. Now I've moved the player to position 7, which is the middle over here, right? Position 7. And since the player in the player resource, its attack target rule is opponent across it. It won't attack anything because there's nothing across it. There's only, if you look at the unit spawner, there's only a snake and the player. And right now the snake just defaults to this position right here. Sorry, not even that position. I think it might actually default to here. No, yeah. The snake is up here in the back line. So, now that the player is in this spot, the snake won't hit the player, and the player won't hit the snake, because the snake, right, has opponent across target access, or target rule. No valid targets left. No valid targets left, right. And then you're just stuck in an infinite loop. So I'll have to make it so that you can, I think, it might be a cool idea to allow units during combat to move around as an action instead of attacking. That could be cool. I kind of like that, actually. You can still end up in a stalemate where, like, the enemy... Well, not if the enemy's dumb. Interesting. I'll have to figure out that later. But yeah, I'm in a good spot right now, and I'm really happy with how the code is structured. It's finally clicking to me. It's making sense. The resource runtime split makes sense because you need to have data that you can, like, pre-establish, and then data that can be saved on the go and manipulated. And then the state machine is definitely nice for encapsulating different states that the simulation can be in. Oh man, I'm looking forward to continuing working on this project. Take care, y'all. Have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.